Hello YouTube, this is Patrice again, and today I'm doing a cryptocurrency video, which this channel is not going to be about cryptocurrency or I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but I decided to do this one because right now the hype for crypto is really dead. Nobody cares about it anymore, but some people like me still do. Just to point out, this video was motivated by a Russian cryptocurrency analytic, I think. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but his name is Dmitri Pogorelov, and I'll maybe put a picture of him somewhere around the screen. And I really like him. I enjoy his videos. I think he knows what he's talking about. He's mostly of a investor, not a trader or anything, and that's long-term investor, and that's what I do in crypto. And this video is motivated by him. One of his videos, he talks in Russian about this same situation, and I decided to translate it and make it more for English people as well, so English people can see him, because I believe that he deserves more love than he gets from just a few Russian views. This video is going to answer your questions for: is Bitcoin dead? When is it going to start growing? And what's going to happen in the future for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency? The leader of cryptocurrency is Bitcoin, and it's probably going to stay this way. So we're going to do analysis based on Bitcoin, because the market usually follows what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin falls, the market falls. If Bitcoin grows, the market grows. There is some exceptions, but mostly that's the case. Okay, so up here you can see that I picked 3 lanes, right? One at 6k roughly, one at 4k roughly, and one at 2k roughly. Currently, right now, it's around 6k, 500. It just keeps going up and down, as you can tell up here. So I'll explain why I picked those 3 lanes in particular. So let's start off 6k. We touched this line a lot of times in the history, and this being as a support and as resistance up here. It's just keep touching it. You see it's kind of almost touches it here, and then it fights through it around here, and just we keep falling to that 6k, but we still haven't broke through it. So this lane been a support for a long time. So in a best case scenario, it'll probably fight a little bit along that line, and then it will go back up. But let's not just hope for the best case scenario. Let's go deeper and see what happens if it breaks through. If it breaks through 6k, I believe that it's not going to stay here for long in the middle of it, because if it broke such a strong point, it will definitely fall. Well, at least not definitely, but what I believe in, it will fall to 4k. So at 4k we have even more up here, some resistance, some support. It's broke through it a bit here, but then went back up, had it as a resistance, and went back through it. So there is some history for 4k as well, and this is the line that I believe in most. That I think if everything happens, this will be the case. This will be the 4k is where crypto gonna start growing again. So as I said, if 4k is what I think will happen, and the most what I expect, basically what I believe in, and if it does break to 4k, which is, well, obviously we all hope that it will stay at 6k and start growing. But if it doesn't and it breaks to 4k, this all mess here can slow it down or make it go back up again. And I believe that there's 60% chance of that happening, that it will go back up from 4k. But in the worst case scenario, even if all of this fails and everything fails and it falls all the way to 2k, you'll probably be somewhere jumping around 3k and 2k, around those lines. So that's where the market will definitely turn. You're probably gonna take a long time, and it will just be flying around that line, but it will turn back and start growing. So you can see I put some percentages here. That's the percentages that the Dmitri Pogorelov actually says, and that's what I believe in as well. So 6k is about 30% chance that it will stay here for a bit and then starts growing. Then 4k is about 60% chance, which is the most what we believe in, because it had history. And later on I will tell more examples why 4k, sorry. Later on I will tell more examples why I believe in 4k more. And 2k, in a worst case scenario, will get 2k, and it will grow back out from here. I'm highly positive about crypto, and I just want to point out that the market is going to be alright. Nothing's going to happen to it. All this is just speculation that's happening right now. It will fall down, it will go back up, and it's not going to go anywhere. In the future, we'll have massive growth and big falls again. It's going to keep going like that. The cryptocurrency is not going to go anywhere. You have to have metal nerves, right? Really strong nerves to like just be in this market when it goes up and down like this fast. But if you are smart, if you're smart about your investments, and if you learn on your mistakes, then you will be ready for those 80% falls and 80% rises, and like just swinging up and down. Like you will expect it. So if you've been in a crypto for like a year or longer, it's the longer the better, then you already went through this kind of highs and lows. It grows and it falls really fast. So if you learn on those mistakes, you will definitely get better and adjusted and adapted for future. So for example, for me, I've been in crypto, like if you've seen my other videos, maybe about 3 years now I'm in crypto. I started off mining, and then I started investing. I sold my miners and just started investing into cryptocurrency for long term. And for me, this was like a big fall as well, from 20k fall to 6k. Yeah, that's like ridiculous, right? But at the same time, I kind of did expect it, because everybody was talking about it. Everybody a lot of people expected it, and it happened in the past. I will talk about the past in a minute. Technically, it's a normal thing to happen in cryptocurrency market. So let's go to the chances. Like, of course, we all want the market to be positive again. Only people like traders, like that they can make money. Like professional traders, they can make money on falling market the same way they can make on a growing market, like bulls and bears, right? But for people like me that invest in a long term, falling market doesn't really bring anything. Only like cheap prices if you want to buy some more. So let's look at the chances, and like I already said, what I think will happen. So 30% chance is that it will bounce back on a 6k. Then 60% chance is that it will fall to 4k and bounce back from 4k. So that's my highest. That's what I believe in the most, basically. And then 10% chance for 2k. So this one is there's really low chance of this happening, but it still can happen. And if it does happen, then it will just take longer to recover, but it will still bounce back. Like I said before, cryptocurrency market ain't gonna go anywhere. There's a lot of countries and a lot of governments that have such a mad inflation in the countries, and that they are just ready to invest into anything that could be at least more reliable. Okay, so let's go to this now. Let's go to these points. Why I believe that 4k is the highest chance, like why I gave it 60%. As we already know, well, maybe some of you don't, but as the history shows us, in 2013, when cryptocurrency had a big peak, right, a big growth, it was about $1,300, $1,200. We know that it fell, like it had a correction of 85%. It fell all the way down to like $200. So that's an 80% correction. It already happened in the past in 2013. And up here, I want to show you this exactly. So this is history of a Bitcoin, right? And we're looking at Bitcoin right now. So up here in 2013, November, it grew all the way to, well, November and the month after. It grew all the way to about, well, I can't really show it perfectly, but like $1,200. It was like around that price. There we go, 1,149. And then throughout the time, it had a correction. Then it went to a bit up and was fighting. Basically, the depression similar to exactly what's happening now. It's like going like up, down, but mostly down. Like the trend is downtrend. Well, it's a downtrend. And eventually to like about here, that's like, see, 220 USD dollars, right? Well, what US dollars. So yeah, so this happened before in 2013, and as I believe, and as a lot of investors believe, that market, it always repeats itself. The history always repeats itself. It doesn't, sometimes it takes longer, it takes shorter, but it repeats itself like all the time. So if you look at Bitcoin right now, it's around 6k, and if it falls to 4k, that will be 80% fall from 20k per Bitcoin, right? So it's exactly the same as it was in 2013. It has an 80% fall. You can see up here that the pattern is pretty much the same. It goes down, 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 down trend, right? So if it starts growing from 6k, it will have to have some like really strong news, really good news that support it. Like maybe some government accepted it as a currency or whatever, I don't know, but like really strong news have to move it from 6k. If we don't get anything like that, it'll most likely break to 4K, will take a bit longer, but it will still bounce back. And that's why I believe it'll bounce back from 4K, because it's same as the history, it's at the 80% mark. So after the first fall of Bitcoin to 80%, it took about 3-4 years to recover Bitcoin to its highest price again. But this time I believe that it will take a lot faster, because there's just a lot more people interested. A lot of people heard about Bitcoin, right? Right now it's a bit lied down, it's a bit dead, but people know about Bitcoin and overall cryptocurrency markets. The infrastructure wasn't the same. The main point probably, at that time it was a lot harder to buy Bitcoin. Right now, it's like on any platform you can go on, you can buy it for dollars, you can buy it for pounds, you can buy it for ruble, you can buy it for anything. You can just buy anywhere on the internet. It's so easy with your credit card or debit card, or mostly debit card probably. You can just buy cryptocurrency or any coin, Bitcoin, really fast. And there's so many platforms that you can use. So I think the growth of Bitcoin right now will be way faster than it was in the past. It's not going to take 3-4 years. It might take about 1-2 years. You might think that dominance of the Bitcoin was way bigger in the past, right? So if we look at Bitcoin, the dominance right now is 50%. Okay, so if we look by the history, the highest peak was around 812 billions, right, of dollars, the market cap. And it fell down to around 265, 200. So the peak is 812, right? If we count off 80% of that peak, it will be around roughly, just counting roughly, around $160 billion. So the Bitcoin dominance right now is at 53%. If the Bitcoin dominance will remain at around 50%, then that means $80 billion is in Bitcoin. And $80 billion, if you do the maths, then it will be roughly around 4K per Bitcoin at 80 billions Bitcoin market, Bitcoin cap. So if you do still minus 80% out from entire market, and the Bitcoin dominance will be 50%, it will actually be exactly the same as it was before. It will be still an 80% drop from, so the Bitcoin is still going to be roughly around 4K per Bitcoin. So it doesn't really matter. The market still kind of is the same as it was. It doesn't matter that the dominance is less than it was before, because the price of the entire market cap still matches. Like, of course, I'll hope myself, for my own sake, that we will bounce back at 6K. But in the worst case, right, like if we keep the numbers and the history, if we check the numbers and the history, 80% fall will be around 4K. So I expect that. If he grows now, I'll be amazed, right? I'll be happy. But if he falls, then I'll still be okay. I'll still expect the 4K growth. Cryptocurrency market overall is very volatile. So a lot of professional traders, right, they look mostly on the graphs than like news. Of course, if you get good or bad news, they will outbeat any graphs. But like those graphs, they do like mean something, you know. Those lines, they do like they're not just for the meme right here, right? Like people that make money out of it, like the traders, they look at those graphs. So if there will be any strong news, like I already said, like if a country accepts like Bitcoin to its reserve, or something really outstanding, then we will grow back from 6K. We'll bounce back from 6K. But if there won't be anything like that, it will most likely fall to 4K, which is still fine. Like, still don't panic. It's good. Like, at least we know for sure that it repeated the 80% drop. And if it falls to be even lower than that, which is 2K, it's bad, but it's acceptable. We still have the numbers, and it's still possible. Then the bounce probably gonna take all the way till like the end of 2019 roughly. So it is gonna take some time. And if we grow from 6K, it'll probably be somewhere midterm 2019, second half. And if you grow from 4K, it'll be about second half of 2019. So I'm talking about like market will come back to the price it was before, to the peak, around like second half of 2019 from 4K. 2K would probably be 2019 the end, or maybe even 2020. But it will come back. Like, it will bounce back. The market is not going to go anywhere. Okay, so let's sum this up. So 6k, 30%, right? There's 30% chance that it will bounce from 6k. 60% chance, which is the highest, from 4k bounce, and 10%, only the lowest, is 2k bounce. And it will take roughly around a year, or if it will drop to 2k, then it'll probably take even longer, maybe 2 years for the for the Bitcoin to grow back to its previous highs. Okay, so now if you enter the if you want to enter cryptocurrency market around now, if you learned for it not like too far ago, your question will be, where do I enter? When do I put in my money? So if I'd be you, if I would already in the market, right? But if that would be me, if I would be the one buying, I would probably buy 50% of my money. I would spend 50% now buying like a strong projects, Bitcoin, even just Bitcoin. But I just believe in like EOS, right? I believe in ICX, which is Icon. Just talking shit and whatever. I believe in the EOS. I believe in Icon. Like NEM is okay. It's a good coin as well. But like, you don't need to listen to what I say, right? Even if you just enter with Bitcoin or any other strong projects you think they are like good, then I would be like, if that would be my choice, I would get 50% of my money in now, because it's a 6-point mark, and it's been like roughly flowing around here, and it might start growing from here, and there's a 30% chance they will. If I see any like high trends that break their previous highs, right, like these one or up here, and the trend, you can clearly tell that the trend is changed, then I would invest the other 50%. And if the opposite happens, if it does fall to 4k, then I would invest somewhere around 4k price. So I wouldn't aim to try to catch 2k, or to try to catch like the best price and sell it at the highest, buy it at the lowest. But roughly around 4k, 6k would be already cheap, because currently right now most of the good coins, like even Bitcoin, are 80%, almost 80%, like discount at almost 80% discount. So even buying it now, even that if it falls a bit more and then grows, it would still be worth, because just the comeback, it will definitely come back in 2-3 years, or whatever it might take. It will definitely still come back. Like Bitcoin will still be 20k, right? Eventually. So if you think that way, by eventually, by the way, I don't mean really long term. I mean about 2 years max. Well, in worst case, 2k, maybe 2.5, but no, I don't think so. It's going to be less than that. So if I would invest 50% now, then, and it goes back to 4k, I would put 50% in more, and just for the long term, wait till it goes back up. Even if it comes back just at 20k and not goes any further, even if you sell it just at 20k, right, when Bitcoin will be saying at, not just Bitcoin, but market cap will be around 800 billion, that's already times 10, times 8, times 7 on most projects, on most coins, so that's already a lot of money made. But I personally believe that will grow a bit more than, a lot more than the 20k eventually, because this is only one of the first ones, one of the first peaks, and the last one happened in 2013. Obviously now everything is more known, the Bitcoin is more known, there's more, like I said already, there's more platforms to buy it on, so I believe it will have a much bigger impact now. Of course, there will be a lot of people that are smarter than me, which I'm okay with, commenting down below. Then just say what you think. What do you think is going to happen to the market? Will it grow again? Or when will it grow? What are the percentage of it growing, right? This video was inspired by Dmitri Pogorelov, right? A guy I really respect in cryptocurrency market. He's really smart, and the investments he does are very good, and the way he looks at the project is just like, it's really high quality, basically. Like the way he said the same thing that I just said right now, by trying to translate it, he actually did a way better job. He's much more smarter than me, and he was in cryptocurrency way earlier than I was. So if you want, you can give him a look, but I'm not sure if you look English, I'm not sure you will understand any Russian, right? But this video been inspired by him, just saying. If you have any comments, if you have any of your ideas, what you think is gonna happen, then comment down below. If you want to see future videos about investments and about stuff that I do, so you can subscribe and like the video. Thank you very much, guys, and see you guys later.